didn't get Chinese, nobody can tell. Our father, our uncle. Nice former council chairman, Honorable Felix Owete, is the chairman of the event. Vice chairman of the event. A nice our uncle, brother. A nice Pastor Benson Toka is the vice chairman of the event. Senior advocate of Nigeria. Yes, hello. Now, when and that's our father, High Chief Richard Omalode. The always the one of the people. So they have to under the high table, we have our son, our brother, our uncle. And that is the high chief leader of Boko, the presentator of Boko Kingdom, to the high table. I'm so that's I'm going to go with some possible name. I'm going to say I'm in advance. You know to cool Boko Kingdom, Chiboliako, high Chiboliako to the high table. We also have the Secretary of Boko Kingdom to the high table. Secretary of Boko Kingdom to the high table. I'm also this governor. We have a conference secretary, and that's Mr. Zuka Yogo to the high table. We also have Mr. Ifeanyi financial report to the high table. Mr. Ifeanyi to the high table. We have Assistant Financial Secretary, Mr. Ele Masala, to the high table. We also have a great big Sonia Masala to the high table. Yes, I'm with them. We will actually 2000 numbers. I'm going to just let this I can't check the chain, the look on it. And look on it. You may go in the fight, actually, when you're to the and look on it. It's sure. Object. Chief Michael put 500 naira. Object. Now we believe 200. Chief Melody Department 200. Pastor Tony DG 500. Honorable Alex Ababa 1,000 naira. Mr. Bobo 200 naira. And Mr. Japet 200 naira. And this for 500 naira. And Jamili 200 naira. So pure. Everybody 500 naira. Now we're 200 naira. Chairman with 200, 400 naira. What do you want 200?
Action. Yeah, vigilant.
200. The chairman of the event, that's former council chairman, Honorable Malik, away the kitchen. 5,000 naira. 5,000 naira. That's why I'm looking for someone. 500 naira. We say like for someone. The new venture, 200 naira. Current 200 naira. President was sitting. President who, one man at home, you ready to book you? Okay, now, we will.
I wanted to go as of Ramanyo. If I didn't have a friend, I would have gone out. And I pass off because I do. My mama is also in town.
Praise Master Jesus. Never ke Jesus. No barake Jesus. Tuna ene kele. Ebe duani. Aswa keri agao. Yewule ni balance for. Kuno kita Emu-Uno Conference. Agwa shipiko. Ujema. Jika chobo. Ka opa ke kodi udo. Alekele ezi tutesh idebia. Ka iso mo ebia. Kwa kana se sukesh. Biko waswa ke kule bele kite. Ya pudo yen before ka ke shi to mo. The Bible is the way. For in Jesus wonderful name we are praying.
Weka. Bana.
Opomwe ibino. Okara gwegwewu. Dotu abi I chief. Asem dekene. Diko ni kwa krende. Ngune nyaro ka ina. Ko fuma ni nachi. That is the secretary general of this Emu-Uno. And give you for 1 minute. I hear about the song. And the video anything. Because 1 minute. So I'm more. May the story of the prophetic be sustained. Amen.
Ogume, Operamugu, the high chiefs, my co-members here on the high chief here, on the high chief. Ikorogo nyina bikira, nekene gira no, ne ilu nude ne banku kira. Conference kira, man ne ehude, and Yezune. Those is you who be living and Obumwani. And it came when you make big she took Yaka, neighborhood, wee sawa ka ọ ba jụọ n'anya so ya si na ọ bụrụ si nnarị obi mmadụ si webe ewe mmadụ na postponement wee meni dị iru ketene Chinebe n'okwusa conference kena anyị na-ezu bụ conference Emu-Uno ọ bụ annual meeting nwata ibu ọsọ anyị na-anọdị ọsọ anyị iwe afọ iro wesi iroro dị anyị na-eobi ka a were n'omerikwe na Emu-Uno anyị na ya si na anyị na-ezu ebe na so narị obi ọsa ma chere na ịbịa na ebe na ịbịa n'ịchọrọ isikọ dị mma Emu-Uno bụ the purpose na na-ezu n'ikete last year 2023 mebu chairman others in Ebene in the conference and anyaruwa sọ̀rọ̀ so ọsibẹ ní akọ sáà ní Ebene imu ìrọ̀rọ̀ ọma n'eyi n'emu ẹ̀ka wọ́pùsẹ̀ ọkọ̀ onye enwe n'iroro na develop well ikwuso okwu ọma ka ị gani na-achị wee were keni gani ni ọsamarịcha ọgashi so ere dibịa na ebere kwuo ife dị n'obi anyị ikwubuze ọsa anyị na-adị ruo eroro n'ime ya ọkụ kene ihe na-enwe ka anyị ewere ọkụ kene ihe si na-enwe ka anyị chọ ụwa anụ ka gwa m na ebere si ọsa anyị kewere okwu obi zuozuzu kene dibịa anụ ka ekwe si na ebere zuozuzu kene abụ for politics is for Emu community ero anyị ma na anyị mma so mmadụ bịa dị ebe ni so dị ka ekwuchi ndịdị this angle ndịdị this party ọta party si n'ebere and ọta anyị ga n'ebere n'okwu Emu ka anyị kwu arụ nọ n'iro n'abalị anyị mfe so ọ bụrụ inwe n'iroro iburu n'ibịa chikọdị ka ọkwe ya ọgọ kere narị ọsa anyị biko chedi n'obi ọsa mmadụ dị free to talk n'ebere and ibi ikwu n'igwe aka were m ọsọ ọrụ so narị ọrụ ibiko onye na-obi ejido ikipe ngwanụnụ I underline it anyị adịghị politics na-eme anyị n'okwu Emu so ọsa political party na-ebe na anyị enwe passion n'ime ebe na passion anyị nwere bụ one passion Emu-Uno development meeting ya anyị dị n'ebe na mmadụ si ka enwe nkwụnisi abịa ahụ na but a measurement okay because otu asụa ganene ka asụa ke last year nzuni anyị adị na-arụkụme we are not doing it well because onwe committee were setting it up in 2022 to date it is a period of 1 year last year anyị kunishi kenu 2022 Shosa committee arụrụ she that 2023 ọsa committee she by March ọsa anyị na-ebido n'ebere the whole committee chairman and the secretary ka review ife ọsa anyị kwere n'ishi assignment anyị kere ibe but to my surprise Oga and all my unity we have capable people, intelligent people in this our midst so bikoni and ọkwa menyashi also gbe dị n'ebe na-etu ya bụ ọsa ndị dịka wedịta na ọchịchị na-ewotu n'otu na-emune because ime conference na-achị kwa mara ife wee ka arụ banye izute echi na eyi n'igwe wee ka na organize Emu so na-agwanuchi bikoni ebe ji akpara ụka ma ịgwa na-eche ịkpara ụka biko bụ akpara ụka anyị aka na-eme n'isi abịa ka ọkọ onye ka eguzo ọkwara anyị ka behave ourselves as a mature people, as learned people, as a community people, and you can rush tomorrow. And don't use any foul language on anybody. Don't use any foul language on anybody. Man will say, you will say, no beer here. Borgane, women ready Sharasai, Komara Shogun. So everybody is free to talk, and nobody is free to insult anybody when you are responding to any issue, because I will not welcome it. So because any marriage, any condemnation, or any condemnation, and if you are even there, coordinate man, you know money man. So you have to be when you come down, you have to share.
I just went out and managed to share a little. And the next song is welcome address by the EDA chairman. That's good is so many. Tuba.
Obonwe, ibi lologo, olodukuba abi, aje, uchemasa, ogbefi, asemuloni, ọdẹdọdẹwò, professor ije masonja, Noario, welcome address delivered by the CDC chairman from the Sunday Kerimo on the occasion of the Emu-Uno Annual General Conference held on 26 to 27 December 2024. Nebelega the conference chairman, Nwata Karakwapai, and Orewa Semu, so job the European one, Africa in the conference of today is 2025, but now the conference of 2024. Okay, chairman, let me share one. His Royal Majesty, the Emu of Emu Kingdom, Father and Council of Chief Presidents, the President General of Emu-Uno Kingdom, all honorable members here present, all branch representatives here present, all the Assam Working Committee, the Youth Vigilante Chairman and Executive, highly esteemed guests, distinguished and ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of my executive and the entire member of Emu Development Association, EDA, welcome you with great honor and a high sense of responsibility to this year's annual General Conference of Emu-Uno. On behalf of various committees, I would like to express my deep appreciation to the Emu of Emu Kingdom for his undying support to the kingdom. It is a privilege to address you all again in this conference of the year 2024, and I am delighted to be in your midst today. I also express my sincerely gratitude to the wonderful people of Emu-Uno and the conference commitment, cooperation, and love for the CDC towards the successful hosting of the year 2024 conference. I would like to share some of our achievements so far in Emu community. One, the selection of President General PG that has been under power struggle for a long time. The committee made sure that the land dispute between Emu-Uno and Abi was handled with peace. The committee has also, with the help of chiefs and others, achieved the success of new orders man in the community known as Omarobo after the death of late Omarobo Uka Eke. The Emu-Uno stakeholders leadership was also instituted and Ogwefi Onya as the head. The committee is also working tirelessly to make sure the MTN 4G network is installed as promised by MTN official. Appreciation We appreciate our notable son, the newly elected and inaugurated President General of Emu Clan, High Chief Gideon Ugogo, the Utogator of Emu Kingdom, who single-handedly took the challenge to put Emu-Uno Secondary School ICT Center in order, which cost about 4.3 million naira. He has also brought energy to the community over the construction of Emu and the railroad Emu-Uno. He has contributed a lot of finance and journey to Emu over the last dispute between Emu-Uno and Olu. He also equipped the DRD with material. Please, we all give him a round of applause. We also want to inform you before this conference that another of our sons at least to be appreciated is the person of Ambassador Obiakiro Chukwuemeka Nesi Akpatoro, who on his own brought employed community teachers to the government primary school Emu-Uno and provide writing material to the school in the kingdom for 6 years. We also appreciate our own daughter, Mrs. Gloria Ikuru Ni Abadon. We also appreciate the person of Mr. Pius Ojebenu, who deployed 7 teachers to Emu Secondary School as his office led him to do. When the PS Ojebenu Unufo Ebenandino de Fana Ube would open and a question worker, open with the challenges, but no going on abe, and I call all the old branches as someone but a year car. There is a car, but no point is solve the problem. Unka Fana. Akure Abichi follow, we move 100,000. Honorable is that the council we move 30,000. Honorable Ejime is Abuja, Abuja, we only 40,000. Engineer Machuku, that's the good news that time, because of it, we only 20,000. Honorable Obenya, we only Ifeburi, we only 100,000. Obi Apatoro, that became with the Latimata Yemu School, different teacher Arabia, Obi Apatoro, we only 200,000. Obi Napoleon, Okrika, we only 98,000. Honorable Vice Chairman of Papa West, Honorable Mrs. Margaret Ano, we only 50,000. Engineer Malego, we only 50,000. That would be the Nacho, Ego Kamari, Urupani, Urupa, and be the one using. Challenges. I want to inform this conference that the following office has facing financial challenges. 1. Vigilante. 2. Life. 3. Education. And 4. Youth. We appeal to individuals that are led to support to do so. Now for listening, your son, servant, Mr. Sunday Rimo, ongoing CDC chairman. Thank you.
I also want to quickly hand over the microphone for the next agenda, reading and amendments and adoption of the previous minutes by our secretary, Mr. Azuka Iwebula.
Please permit me to start on the already existing protocol. Minutes of the 2023 Annual Conference of Emu-Uno Development Association held on the 26th and 27th day of December 2023 at the Community Town Hall. Attendance for the one attached. Agenda constitution of the high table, opening prayers, President of the North, Conference Chairman address, welcome address by the Chairman, reading amendment, adoption of the previous minute, matters arising from previous minute, business of the day, constitution of EDA as the address ceremony, education, security, leadership, infrastructures, light, water, hospital, repair center, market, etc. Finance, AOB, and closing remarks. Day 1 proceeding. Opening. The conference commenced in earnest at about 12:15 p.m. with the EDA chairman, Comrade Sunday Remo, ushering members of the high table. The conference chairman, Felix Waiting, declared the conference open after opening prayers conducted by Pastor D. Andrew. Mr. Ebana, Imadamo, conducted the presentation of Kola North and the morning support. Imadamo welcomed all different branches of EDA to the conference. Conference chairman, Honorable Felix Waiting, opening address. The conference chairman, Honorable Felix Waiting, warmly welcomed members of the conference. He emphasized the importance of third opinions in the dedication of the conference agenda and the need for peaceful conference. He encouraged everybody to contribute meaningfully to the conference agenda as their contributions will go a long way in the just completion of the conference agenda. He also reminded conferees not to attack speakers at the conference in order to ensure free flow of the agenda of the conference. The chairman remarked the absence of supportive issues in the community in the conference. He concluded by encouraging members of the community home and abroad to always be present in the EDA annual conference. EDA chairman of matters. The EDA chairman on the Sunday Remo graciously welcomed the conference to the members of the conference and presented his address before the conference. He highlighted the challenges encountered in the year under review and some recorded achievements. He lamented the lack of absence of synergy between the leadership of EDA and the vigilante group, as well as other stakeholders of the community towards achieving common goals. The highlights of the EDA achievement for the year under review is centered on education and crime combat. In terms of education, in instance of high-profile personality who provided student writing materials, school furniture, cards, and scholarships to students of the two primary schools and the secondary school in the community. These personalities are the former Ruban, Father Lucy, Agabro Nesmidalero, Mrs. Gloria Ekuri Niaba, Chief Mrs. Rubizete. He stated that through his partnership with Jebel and Chicha with the Budget Secondary School, that the ETA leadership has also applied for uniform members to be deployed to schools in the community. On the issue of crimes, the ETA chairman noted that crime rate in the community has been reduced to the barest minimum within the year under review. With the joint effort of the and committed stakeholders, he concluded that they also ruled the local government chairman to provide solar light and security posts to the community. Reading amendment and adoption of the previous meeting. The conference secretary, Mary J. Oyeku, Esquire, read out the minutes of 2022 annual conference to the hearing of the conference. Conferees present. After the reading, the conference chairman on the room, Felix will cover the possible areas of observation, amendment, and or correction. It was observed that the minutes of 2022 annual conference was not endorsed by the conference chairman and the secretary respectively. It was also recommended that our children who are educationists be made members of the education committee. It was also concluded that all the committee constituted at the 2022 annual conference did not come up with tangible reports. The henceforth all committee must come up with documentary reports. In the absence of any other observation, amendment, or correction, the conference chairman, Honorable Felix Waiting, moved motion for the adoption of 2022 annual conference minutes and was seconded by Servant Comrade Peter Matters arising from the previous meeting on education. it was revealed that teachers and corps members are not willing to come to live in Emu-Uno. That lodges will be built for corps members. That moving machine be brought to ease the stress of manual labor on our young school children. That there is need for the EDA chairman to be working in tandem with the education committee. That a database of our potential admission seekers and graduates seeking for jobs be created. On security, that security is a recurrent problem in the community. The conference concluded that the committee on security did not perform creditably well in the year under review. The committee on security was highly admonished. Resolution. It was resolved that by the first quarter of 2024, all the committee consulted in the previous and this year should come up with comprehensive report. Business of the day. Constitution of EDA as it affects Emu-Uno. It was resolved that since the EDA general constitution cuts across Emu Kingdom, the issue of Emu-Uno constitution be deferred until a later time when the Emu Kingdom constitution as still and the drafting state has been enacted to avoid inconsistency in the Emu-Uno constitution and Emu Kingdom constitution. However, the committee was considered to review the draft by law of Emu drafted by Lucky Elimination order and make a report before April 2024 conference. Members of it are Dr. Nicholas Alemona, Manager in Aribu, and the Beauty Abba. The policy waiting, Sunday Rubu, Best for Esquire, Lord Minador Esquire, David Maria member, Miss Esther member, Miss Cecilia member. Education. Complaints of lack of teachers in Emu-Uno primary school were made. It was resolved that incentive for teachers be created. It was revealed that some new teachers have been deployed to Emu-Uno secondary school. The Committee on Education should continue to function and was encouraged to do more in the quest for better education support in the community. Honorable Baba and Mr. Ifeanyi Amara were added to the Committee on Education. Security. After a thorough deliberation of security, suggestions on each street bringing armed persons to strengthen the vicinity was made. The Committee on Security was encouraged to up and bail. The vigilante chairman also solicited for support in the form of arms to enable them carry out their duties effectively in case of emergency. That before police arrests will be made in the community, records should be first heard to the EDA chairman or the vigilante chairman. The conference said that the leaders of the committee should support the vigilante for optimal result. The Committee on Education is to continue to function. Leadership. From all speakers, it was agreed that leadership is a problem in the community. It was agreed that there is need for synergy among the leaders in the community. The EDA chairman, upon the notice to return home, in order to support and be physically involved in leadership of the community. It was also suggested that the discrepancies in cadence of efficiency in the community be looked into, as the discrepancy often lead to conflicting decisions and the vision of the affairs of the community. It was concluded on leadership that the EDA chairman and the chairman of the various committees meet every month for effective leadership. At about 5 to 6 p.m., the chairman of the conference suggested that the conference be adjourned for the next day as the day has been past spent. On that note, on the report, we can move motion for the conference to be adjourned to the next day. The motion was seconded by Emu, and the conference came to a close at 5:50 p.m. I think I'll report the two activities. I think it's tomorrow.
Our presenter, our high to do the logo on the secretary. Now, what's it like? I think you know the book is 5,000. It's in a note in the minute. When they can order first. Secretary, will head down. Davis is not big. It went to 3,000 naira. Now, what was it? Chief London Antonio 1,000 message. Uganda ni Burundi. Asoja sawu wala te kunani ngo akaka no isheba beno. Osife wine na go go show na go go show na go no. Number 7 attempt to rise from the previous visit. I don't really be able to chairman. So what to say?
Well, Osife ni kule bena be ani June last year. And Obama she remain in the that conference. So John Shikunu no chai of the Luda. I go on anyway dinner. Can you mark there's amendment or there's omission and Iran discussion so that we will now know and adopt it. So that will share one.
Chairman and members of the High Table. Take the rested to the contents, but as the secretary has to pause so that we take the rest out of the minutes against tomorrow. Now, part for the entire minute because day 1 and day 2 constitutes. Okay. Day 1 is day 2 last year conference, Bofu conference. So the cargo for Osarecha. Then matters that arise in the I didn't know but we can boss we can take it up the some kind of also they can summarize that briefly. But that for us administrated. If I can win the camera of proof, that's why they can suspend no food to be rich. If I can quit you, we carry two boss on the table. So if I can push out to pay also summarize us administrated last year. Come and see the one.
So Prof. Nachaka Baruka, so that Prof. Baruka and Nadi Marifanika concluding with Barry.
Chairman, you are in charge of this conference. Be using my microphone. You be in charge. You know, 4 minutes for adoption. No any other person. Agenda 1, agenda 2. One, chairman should be in charge. The chairman of the conference should be in charge. Then I go agenda 1, agenda 2, agenda 3. You be in charge. If you are going to approve or not approve. Then the Kife Male Dokuni. Abusa Kabia conference in the we float for a whole minute, a whole day. Because if I need to do the benefit can feel well. So every all day, chairman did a poker or see page 1. Will you put man on a poker? Yes. Because they don't now, they don't take HTTP money for Yamani and because every night at the conference now, many tickets are supposed to have been circulated to every member of, even in the electronic forum. I mean, because there are a lot of WhatsApp groups, Emu Kingdom, Emu this and this. Until I circulate to a minute ticket. Or see page 1, page 2, page 3, page 4. Okwago, open a canal, minute ticket for more than 1 hour. Open up the second one, it will take another 1 hour. It's almost 3 o'clock. Before now, far and I will do Oku. So, because so okay, chairman, give a microphone, pop up page 1, then when where no, Lucy Freddy page 1, no correct. Come and conquer, can you have a second?
Prof. So, if a prof Richard may soon opinion, Nikushikani was to take it. Then Prof. Nibushi Obranica work it. Then an Amarishi Bagugana, Sibina Kani stop. So, page by page.
No, he was saying, page 1.
Okay. Well, yeah, a question personally, say for next time. By now, this issue, our issue would have been circulated by any medium so that the people will be aware of it before the conference. So, we're still on with you. Can anyị mmanịkwa nkelu
ọrụ kwa ifu na-ekuru ebe ka a ga-eri na-arụ ọrụ ọ bụ kọnferensị enwere ike ya ka obodo ọzọ anyị agbara mgbe anyị obodo kene o what are we doing bịa biko na ka mmeni fegere ka obodo anyị gaa n'isi ọ bụrụ ebe ọ kere otu wee ke na ya tebụl n'ndị okuli egbara anyị eji move forward because ndị nna ụkwa ga amara ya jabụka anọ na-aza anyị kọba anyị na biko na isi egwara
Proceedings of day 2 of the conference. Chairman of the conference declared it open at 11:07 p.m. He reminded the conference for the need to continuous peace. The conference goes on. Dr. Nicholas Alamona conducted opening prayers. President of Poland was made and received by Mr. Ifani. The infrastructures under the light. The chairman of EDA was called upon to give a rundown on the issue of light for the year under review. The chairman said there has been light in the community over this period. That the EDA borrowed money from the king and the local council to pay for the current light bill. He also said that he has negotiated the electricity distribution company that Emu can only pay the sum of 400,000 for consumption of light bill per year. He maintained that though there is no concrete agreement yet as to the payment of such sum, as he told the manager of the ECDC, that he will get back to him after relaying this development before the 2023 annual conference. The chairman also informed the conference that there are moves for installation of solar energy to power water supply in the community. The conference urged the EDA chairman to further negotiate with the electricity distribution company manager to reduce the bill to enable the community afford it. It was also concluded that there is need for proper record keeping of those paying light bills and those not paying. The conference further concluded that all payment of light bills end by the year 2024 as every light consumer is taught to buy prepaid meter. At this stage, the EDA chairman informed the conference that there are people who have refused to pay light bills, such as Ike Warren, and that at the time, Honorable Goldberg gave them from time collecting bills from him. The conference agreed that those identified light bills before can be someone, and every evidence of their debt will be made available, and the bills collected from them, that the code of collecting teacher will be dished out to every tax source by the Committee on Light. The considered Committee on Light is to continue to manpower in the operation. He said very few members of the group attend message of the vigilante and very few donors for group activities. The chairman eventually presented a written financial report on the year under review. The total proceeds from the year coming from the vigilante, 160,000 naira. 2 fines amounting to 5,000, not included in the financial report of the vigilante, were said to be in possession of the vigilante chairman. The chairman agreed and gave reasons why he has not credited the money. The chairman was given 3 months notice to remit the money. Those who have not paid their fine for one offense or the other were given 2 weeks to pay their fines. 1 week notice was given to Mr. Paul Onguma, vigilante member, to refund the sum of 12,000 naira fine in his possession. The abduction of the financial report was deferred to the first quarter of 2024 conference, pending the consideration of irregularities in the report. The new president said the leadership has nothing to present for now, as they are newly constituted. No report from them. The further said that small money in the light has been spent on the committee to bottom up, as no fund was handed over to them by their predecessors. Light. Mr. Ifani presented the comprehensive financial report on light on the year review. Total income for the years 1,307,750 naira. 312,750 naira. Expenditure 1,302,870 naira. Balance was 9,880 naira. The report also showed there is no debt on life insurance for the year under review. So I hope we can move on from the report to the line of the adopted. Financial report. Chairman of the Sunday started by giving report of the task force activities under the leadership of the lead president. Conference is observed that since the task force is under the control of the lead president, we are able to disband them if the fees and services are no longer owing timber revenue. In the financial report, the chairman later informed the conference that an individual later brought 30,000 to balance 56,000 naira. Jim Wednesday brought 10,000 to balance 5,000, and DG Chukwunara also joined the laundering operation. Is no longer if I will move for the ED report to be adopted. Same seconded by Fan Ichibwe. Any other business? Highlight on issue AOB as follows: 30,000 naira to be paid by member not associated with EDA branches in diaspora. The conference agenda is circulated on time. Facebook page and sample be created for EDA and all branch chairman be made administrator. That all age grade represented at every order. The vigilante, current vigilante trend of X in 2024. At this stage, the EDA chairman informed the conference that his vice has resigned. Closing and adjournment. In the absence of any other matter being for deliberation, the conference chairman thanked the conferee for their contribution. The conference rules for the motion on adjournment moved by Dr. Richard Mamejo and seconded by Gideon Okonkwo. Sheldon.
On our way for if we're so, when anything in a year, we see any other and money, or let us adopt it, then we move forward. For adoption of that last year minute. Okay.
I move motion for the adoption of the minutes.
Bring it. Before the motion is second, this ministry cannot be a full record for one side. If you look at this document, but the chairman and secretary outside the document were doing. Where is your take to
all these procedures, they will not sign a document until the corrections have been done and everybody is satisfied that everything there is correct. So if there is any amendment, we should do it now. Then they will correct, go and type and print and give to the chairman and the secretary of the conference. You have a check.
I stand to second the I stand to second the minute.
Okay. Next thing now, the chairman can sign now. Because you are the chairman. Yes, I will sign and the secretary will also sign.
So this one is correct?
So this one is over now. So we are going to the next item. And the issue of light. Concerning the delivery by ending of last year, ending of 2023, say I need for prevailing. And then the committee were settled. I think there is no report going in the now. And up to now, we are not in that stage of prevailing. Personally, I also call Nico, as at that time, he has to show the director or manager who is in charge, and Africa. And since then, we did not get any report. So I'm also telling you that we are going to revisit this matter. again, because nothing has been done as far as this matter is concerned. So I think that is the issue of the light. Then the issue of education, I believe that so much has been done with what we have seen here. Some people have also contributed to the, individually have contributed to the welfare of our people in the primary, secondary school, and also in terms of the infrastructures and developing the place. So I think that area they have also done very well. So I think security, we also have problems too, because the security as at then was not effective, and when you're there, joke, where finish where they go. But up to now, I don't know whether they have paid that money. If somebody can as well tell us so that we know what amount they pay and how they are able to resolve that matter. When we're in the security committee, that will tell us more about that thing.
That time, no, where people walk in there. I'm not the chairman. And as from there, we want to work man. The reverend now. Who put them in the acting chairman now? Chairman now. Ogunwe, you been over the chest, PG. I said, we're getting on. You can be on your way. In the medical field, what you put there. Even light. And I respond. Education, and I respond. Water, and I respond. Security, and I respond. Nay, I need to be here. I think the security. Vice chairman, acting chairman of Emu-Uno now. That is good. It's go cool. Okay, guy, and I dwell on the cool security. I will challenge this security well. And I will rule about the committee, you pay the chairman bullying. All committee was set in the conference today. Both education, life committee, security, and water and soil education. Only committee rule out. There is no constitution. And I try one constitution. Honorable Wote is there. Nicholas, doctor, is the chairman. Men the mayor, Barrister down, and Ruben Bureau 50, Oswald. Now you will take me one on the party, but only committee law. So the security, I go well. In the bar, over Canada, only go chairman of the security, Abi. Okay, Abi, Abi, chairman of security. Obey and Abia, we saw the three chairman, the last conference, to follow our law. Canadian money, can manifest this wedding. It's people when I forward. Men and women, youth chairman, Nachi over there, and all the security officers, both MP, that's how we challenges over there. And I come away, do I say this so? And they took me away. But I was you looking there, open up signing. But anything security, if we have people, if we task force, if we work together, but we should move forward. When I run, we 50, and I pose well. So I put up one I be that will say quite a band. If I want to be able to see my own way, and after the doctor said, so my own body. So they are showing a war to do. You know, my way, I don't see. I didn't know. I didn't go through Namu again. Today, Munaya Abam. You know, and in this, I guess I want to get the university. Whether it's good to an hour. The one hour, I think it's good for me. You know what I am. At the stage, and I'm not going to police for you. Don't do anything to the checking point. I jump in a company station. You be rebel.
when we believe so we go. And I better not even and our committee can the youth is the vigilante. You guys can do that. Security is security. Also, when you reported to the community, I mean, I can use those area. But when you go, so government, and I don't know the word. If you baby, he had get you back. Everyone is building well. Can I put you in there? He will from now today, and I don't have to take. Tell me, you know, you will not be there. See, I have to go out the wood there. What tell you about? So, Alabama, we are part of the conference, the palace. All the best palace, the building. She is very fair, I know, and she has a joke. So, we will see what they and they put over to the building. She has a building. We put my son back over. Then the palace have give orders. They cannot give order. When you woman, they can show up. But from this moment, Abi was suspended. He further notice. That is order from palace. And the men as they see this chairman, they will power. Look to my cat order palace again. Because of Mama, Ajaji. And about that chief, Rodo, one only to a parkour to be running. Say order, say the palace will review, say the vice chairman will take charge. The rule, okay, rule. So the vice chairman, Yabo in our role, today now, the best spirit today. We don't know the pushing of when they move, but they report well. Because one way committee will report, all committee will report, but they hear their report. The different officer, the different attorney. But on the book by now, Oppo is the head of Kinati and another comment from us. The date now. Share one. Can I go on for the other one? Quick.
Which other one?
Okay.
The light. The light.
I'll be a guy. Because let's not so child. You will go now quick. The light issue. Okay. Anybody problem with light? We appointed if I need at the financial court level. China did the light. So youth, they were not running. Last year, we wrote the report in there. The report to university, we are quite sure that. The village level are making university. All of our call. No man has a shower call. All our call will move with you. The name is Unazo, and I follow anybody, and I call the youth press. Youth press, some is on youth, the youth street, but I handle the light issue. Nothing like you could not do already. And the young way to say one of the rules and we address them. In the room, I want. Unota report to the youth press, and you went to report to the committee. I judge it. And the super one arrow, it's the money. You know, that time, everybody actually miss, and they grew in the youth press. Ministry, and they go to Pelo. And I go to Pelo, Pelo, a portion. What is it? Those are vandalizing the wire from Wologo Joshua that to before or on the while about 9 or 8 posts vandalizing the wire. And I tell and I feel now the difference in the Emu-Uno can never be so improve my phone locally. Also, when you get the difference and then I want them. I judge. And the next thing I back the other line in it, so that was not and I take one and they can move well. They will try our effort. Men of them, who will not do this, we're putting wire on this nation. We're back on the East Lebanon. And I recover some wires, but put in the way we put it. They will carry all those wires to the palace, Lebanon. And I call the chairman, all these wires developed, everywhere. And it will be the NEPA, we're connected to wire now. I will say, I can move well. And the NEPA, I'm going to say, let's put down the road. But you are not finding that again. The youth, when they very reckless when I was like. And I'm correcting what I did from over 150,000. And I'm asked everywhere. I conclude about the light. The next day, and the question and they were with you. And I just know. And when I appoint 1 hour, till now, Emu-Uno do well. When you put it up, when they made the only thing for now, they say. When they work, they will give their own report of the light. Of the and then they cover wire. Then, on issue of plasma, always on the light. Look at the question. The issue of the light. And in West, they move the benefit. Tomorrow, give report. Doesn't mean just like to be wrong. If you like for a gas, look at the transformer. Obo na call me, na share. So go, she open go. Obo she I say na go Emu. That way the next day, time from exercise. He's so believing. All the go to all Emu. About the go she they say Obo when they go, that be very that you know, they go to transmission after ya. I think waiting now she that's what organizes well. But I don't pick up on ya. So that's where you were going to get it back. The local government or no. So when they were going to have to we're going to cut them. They was when they get running. So on that detail, I just especially they go to the girl. I try my best. But you put us no more. Put us more to do. Put us in to do that so one. What go to she the total will study 600,000. And that's what my eyelash you know. Ain't I interested? Tomorrow my financial report will give the breakdown. Sherman. Okay.
Bernard, na-arụọ ọsị ife ọkọlị so onye nwere igbo ga-ekwu ya oke
Ogbegbe, Yebidu Ogologo,
Chief, the conference chairman, not Kubebi or Sajati, or someone not to I just want to, 819 Ekoku security no. The direct question was, Onwe wonde kusane Ogwo in the previous steps, Kefawe. If you know the number going to say, Abi, Agona in there go, but they went on explaining. So the clarification they could turn in the people say, Ongo there go. If I'm not now, I walk of Wakune. I know the money because I explained no organize so I walk of Wakune. At the stage of so we record your function. At least we should get the details of what happened. I was Wakune was Wakune. Then I am also the Emu-Uno Jike Mugo. Kaba Famarunda. In case in the Cabane, Nareda now Emu Ndauji. That's on the kind of share.
Okay.
Never been seen. Yabo the CDC chairman, ask going to the CDC chairman. Or they supposed to hear any financial reports. It's going to be joined tomorrow. Now, any financial report, that is where we are going to interrogate the document. When I interrogate the document, after Jogo, and I'm say Jogo, after the balance, and I'm the balance, I can't only go there, and I money. So all financial inquiries should tell you why. Every share.
Obwenwe, Bindo Gonogo, Balku Ogwem, always a one. To go baby, could have been the of Samaru. Oku Benagunkeku. Nay, Kenjin Beshini Genoa, who moved in the darkness for 5 years. Ni Lagos na Abo Kotizulu, na Abo Frank. So Bodu Benedi, say they are not Nebel, I be a day bell. Only thing I can do is Bodu Benedi. So it's a man. Where Mary so bad. Nemune. Was him again, to send.
Why not go direct to?
So, and my worry was see, and I know Benemu. This year, Naku Bell, when it's a weapon, Makubu Bem, and the Jugra of Mercy, Egona Kemuna Kubo, Naswa, Cobdonwa, still of the time I didn't move back. A go back from 1,500 to 2,000 or someone. But I can look at it back. So the massive they were 200,000. So local 200,000 because Emu-Uno no someone. You see what? From one man who could be among the list of the whole houses in Emu. Look who's my stage myself. 200,000. Everybody is about 1,400 houses. That time about four years ago. So go below this or one another below this. I'll cover that amount. So can you
Conference. CDC Chairman, Emu-Uno Facing Proton, I expected the current chairman and the current security chairman, so be in charge. Then they named the person did in charge, no give up. Then the person at the door, then all these ones are at me. So, and in the aspect of finance, what we're going to
Don't worry. We are going to all this is not put an email report. That is where we need to question so that we will
So, on an Emu-Uno Conference, then I like it also Papusa. Energy way account. So I expected so continue to be one scenario fading. Then in the area of light, on the mental market John University chairman could in a very light. Osifani did not teach Yakebu man where you not teaching, or Rapper is a good thing. Then every funny yarn, where would you know so? If funny can man, you not teaching because this thing has happened to many of us. Now, the youth chairman, running, conference today or tomorrow. They will ask, if I name when I'm not passing on my elephant, then they know that before the conference, they will ask together. Cocoa, chicken and network, yakan, we get the current account. You have to share.
And I suppose no president who back in fact, in the conference, Jerry, women, they don't show. I couldn't say go on and Namaro, I didn't have a same Musogini like Una, Yabo decision conference, Jerry. And you remember, if I turn Eric, say, and I never they came back now because of the Chifonina Juaneku. So, Bonodia, go Bonodia alone, Ka Ego. Can you be so happy? Not fuck up. I don't care what also. Only the right time. Etienne Bano on your back, estimated be welcome. I will pay for my mother. I mean, that one. On your one on Mayako, then go for two cardinal with a cheap or uncheap Okwego right. So yeah, okay, only no na only the there. So what is Peru Kete? What do we mean? So they are the man. You have the question. Can you achieve that?
Okay. On a no I go because we don't know this matter again. Unlike wow. About our story. Story. Okay. Even men in our mabo, didn't even have on my summer, Okreka. Mabo Piaru, security. But Emu didn't even have Emu didn't security. I like Nijoku. And the banana may push Joku because that they don't be rich. All you couldn't see, Emu hadn't a partner, I could worship, when I could worship. But changing about of duty and you turn ever. Fanafian Emu. Watch a local from our check, watch a local Marabachi. Only can not only can I go in the chairman, when you are duty in the venerable CJ, who are doing in the conference, Siabo chairman. Or then I will go like one your own shake. But CJ, who never like one your own shake. Our people acting chairman, never know a day. Each and every ship was in the war, as I've been worshiping, the rest of our national. Ever not dinner. All you could see, one and a half war, and a half war. She don't know one of them. But it doesn't matter what, well, you can't. None of them can't. All you put not to take, all you put not to see, she never done your general guy. Don't run it. Yeah, we I will do that finance area. What any marriage? Or you write it down, bring it down, so that you know what to do.
m ọgọst nụrụ na-akọ ụgwọ abịa m ka aṅa echi na agbago anyị nkwụsa m n'ụgwọ ka n'okwu kee dis light ndị ka arịọ sacha biko ife ọsacha na akwụbe ejikwanye enye ibu na sa rekọdọs ụlọ dị na egwu na mmadụ dị nọmbas nọ na akwụkwọ nọ ibu na agbasamacha na akọ ụgwọ ngwongwo ndị mmadụ n'obodo na-akọ ụgwọ to say the truth ịkwụsị obodo dị so na akụ 200,000 obodo ekwụsị akwụkwọ nụ were bịa ọ ga-akarị 15 people dị ka akwụrụ for that particular month. Gote a cheti ebere then after all this American akụ 100 people 50 people nwere ike ịkwụ ụgwọ then that particular time akwụsị ego nepa ife ihe ka ọ nwe na-akụ eweli sọbaka na-aba na akawe mkpọkpọ ego nwe na-akụ nepa a na-ewu na ọfisi just leave me alone and borrow men of so mmadụ enweghị esize na the conference ka anyị were okwu na-eti ndị ọzọ n'isi ka akwụ na-ejikọ okwu gwa n'ibe enyi ikife ma gwara akụ ikite wepụtụ ụlọ nsọ na ole n'ikoli na ụlọ ya iweza ka ịkụpụ ka agbaghị irisi ya agharị so biko ni ka a nwere ife na nọ isi agwa
I have two persons again to talk. Richard, please.
The chair, Assalamu alaikum. N'ebe okwu n'ebe na-adị. Ereba na-anọ gwa ya dị na agaba. Whether where the ego go be nneke emu nike money. Because I don't need people better record. Men and man na ugbo nepa. Sa duty, sa finger na. Each of my record can then you go na ebe we shike odawo. Obu na onye na ugbo nepa na enwe record. Aburu chief always akwo this month or the osokwo. Next month na okuna. Amana okuna onye odo bure ko na mali no anu ego ji. But ikite ndị no na ekuna ni. Onye ka kusi no anu ego nya uchi. Ndị ego na edere wa banda. Ego nwe record ogbe na ogbe. Like o ka dị na ogbe. Record after we chi. Since o pe oda ndị ni kwa chi ngo loke be. Eba we du ni be. So ero na na gwa be chi na ne wucho. Ọbụna mmanụ n'ekwu n'ụkwụ ka ọ nọ n'azụ ẹjọ ike rekọd ga-enweta wee nwe obi o dada ọ na ndị mụ na ọbụrụ n'onwe kewa ndị nwere na ana isi agwa Chairman, sir. That is obvious. But this conference taking resolution that the incoming expo, their first duty, broad day later, to NEPA office at Africa or wherever, they are put their headquarters in this region. See, if we are talking about the community billing, when we do that billing, we go to look at bill 2,000 naira or 3,000 naira per month. And Abia, vote you are going to pay the rock way. He did the amount of a village when they teach today. They are planning connections to when they teach today. That she one thing that is the type of an immunity. Where she think that where she Doko Anima where she managed to go body and I'm so the new incoming EDA Emu-Uno should make it as a point of duty. Where the clone have wherever. Emu-Uno the community believe Emu-Uno. When we make community journey shine na koro. Na 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 fa the community believe there. I think they don't put him there. Order.
A conference last year, the Emu-Uno Conference. But Oku Nepa dike igwe ndị dị na anyị dị na outside nepa mata ya ọ bụghị ụra afọ a ide decision prepaid meter edokwa anaghị ego narị ịka afọ a so ife nepa na-eme ada wee nye bulk billing no we can install the meter in your substation then every month if a meter no reading we can use the community then estimated billing no we can use and it be cheaper than the bulk billing because bulk billing anyị na-adị na-emune anyị contribute energy ịgba ya ọkụ ya ara ji ogo ọdịnagụ the meter na-agụ onwenye ezi ka agwasị gbanywa so even na-ekwubichi anyị set up committee of light anyị eyewe support see where any bill up to 200,000 or 400,000 because nepa ịmara ise eko mmadụ iri ise akụ na wee bere ọkụ ọsa ma ịlụ asụ ọgụ sef wee bere ọkụ ọsa community so ndị committed ndị dedicated si warụ ọrụ kere biko wee bụ soso obiwe warụ ọrụ kere ọ bụzi ajini function obodo a you like your community si tụma arụ ọrụ kere biko ya kụchọ n'ikuku mara na
for this light is a great deal. Because the family live when I operate the market for this NEPA issue. Oh, so many people may use their power, say, I'm so person, they don't want to pay. Now, I don't see any table. I'll read your operation. I will never be. I am not going to talk about why I will be the tomorrow. See, we are paying. We are suffering. Then let's put their light tomorrow. We made immediate alacrity. Standing on the bench, I did operation to my region.
Madam, wake up, please. Donate. I've been a coconut factor. I can Kube share. Over to find I couldn't conference now for some years back. I didn't know they were in war. And the much operation is from I'm not changing, but 2 years ago, she's from I'm not changing. I don't want to shift up, but I couldn't live in a canyon with the war. Oh, couldn't pack it at let's then go around when I another them ego. NEPA will shortchange us. That is certain. Equal she can do bodu. Then I go can adjust in the NEPA. In the case washing the man, you can't avoid that. But the mono broken there. Show up now. Many for the broken there. Shimo Yagonia. What you didn't go, Shimo Yagonia. So that can never answer. And we are also adding problems. So if I tell you go to Boku NEPA, and you do one NEPA, and I'm finding out from the youth president in charge, we are going over 10 million naira. Donate. Hold on. Can you listen to me? Only when they said, now they go, she did one house to another house. But only then, not to kill the Diego in Mabel. He or see 4 Jordan over. What can you know? So, NEPA is something that I want to talk to my team, the national team, to handle, to work hand in hand with the community, each of the communities to handle. But for 2025, I will pay the entire bill from January here to December, so that everybody will have free light. So, even if I can't do it, hold on.
Hello.
share. If you have electricity, you have to show you the email. You have security, you have to show you the email. You have education, you have to show you the email. All the organs, or Sunday, all committees are settled now. All being way to not participate in the show you. But Coconut is a very important thing because almost as small business in them around we need electricity to encourage them to do their business. So I say I will pay that bill for 1 year. I will go with my team, meet with them, and begin to work out modalities on how the entire Emu will begin to get light at a very reduced rate and some support to be paying. So that's what I'm going to do. So those are past steps. I'm done with the light. Oku security when they could have been there. Each of the Chania, Oshi Dreshi Mayer, Oshi the Mago Mata, only can be able to Joku and Oku security. I'm talking based on my experience because I didn't book there for some months, for almost 2 years now, almost every day. Where this way, that's a go. We're sure there's in the CDC. Even the CDC, Yaka people go email. So only motion in any aspect of the ocean current. So I can Oku security. By the time I get in when new government, we are going to set up a committee and get some persons from the national team, from the executive at national level, to also monitor whatever they are doing. But this way, when they go, where would he in there, CDC? I am not part of it. Whenever say go, there should be an account where they will be putting in the money. It's where they go and if other individuals are also making donation to assist them, they should also pay money into that same account so that we can handle their needs on daily basis from that same account. That's what we'll be doing from this moment. Because Oshia Karen, they have to share.
Because Oku Gidane throughout 2025, she will back over. Marodi to work with career, Omuba to know about 2-3 months, Emu-Uno. So, Camarado can trash it. So, I make it. She never put up. 2022. Okay. What will change when we see 2026? But if you are question the winner, this one you bet so many ways, Gani Garuni this year. So if I get you again, anyone can get you. They act in the competition with the function. And Kerewan say we will set up a committee that will give them the framework of all the committee records. So then account shall be really monitored too. So, I declare the next item, business of the day. The first one in the minute is about education. And then community education. Where down the minute where is the chairman of the committee?
Men on an auto much than we are quick to taking a responsibility that we cannot fulfill. I come another much no. She can have a she and making new ESCO for this 2025. Yebe wonye ke kushi mmedu Gideon Uboko chukwu n'uche kpocha one of Emu Kingdom. Na ewu so far je you could not really issue. When I know I can do the job. If I cannot do the job, I shouldn't tell another person. I also know that I cannot do the job to go and do that same job. Okay, Rufu Boshe, Onya Brahman show Oge Ichiem. And this is the role you can play. PRO, security, this and all that. We're only really quiet. If we put no and if I have one day just now with the Fashire. Kedashi Numanesh, we're there with the fire. And I can only never when you Pakoto when you come with Faja with at 3 conferences now. I've monitored them very closely. Only Katin with the roar. You can blame Prof now. You know why? I'm never there. Nice you can make a vote. If this corner can make you vote to the no I cannot. Men and I come Korea and all that. Dr. Nicholas, my brother, she order recommended that Prof should be the chairman of education committee. Prof, you were there, education committee chairman. He's not here to accept that responsibility.
He wasn't here, then.
He was not. He left now. He left shortly before he made that announcement. Prof just stepped out. Yes, no, Prof was around, but he stepped out. No, when they were saying that he appointed him, Prof stepped out. He didn't make the issue of my life. So many votes on one day, because I don't talk anyhow. Anything I say to you, take it to the bank, you will catch it. I gone because I think they short them. We left. Prof, remember I called you. Now education committee, where you with the chairman. What is your plan? Because I want to be part of your committee, and I'm also making a donation of 100,000 naira to enable you to kick off because I'm interested in that education committee. Remember I mentioned that to you. That I also need an account for us to pay in that 100,000. That please oblige me the opportunity of having that account so that I can pay in money. Probably should have anything by eye. I don't really remember that. I don't know. I dropped the cup. Before with the body color. Sir, Prof, my brother, she married by any that. She say my responsibility for the neighbor. Or she mess her Prof with the normal Prof. Maybe Prof day for one corner they enjoy himself. You know what answer me? I'm quoting Nicholas. Of course. I called Nicholas more than 7 times on this matter. I got tired and fed up and shock my power. So even they could have you cannot blame him. The only thing that I told them, so many of us, we know so much, but we cannot educate our people. The Canadian Prof. I know him very well. He's my very close friend. We are very, very close. Not quite. We are very close. I also know his words and what he has upstairs. Even in the conferences, you've been part of these conferences in this community for almost 10 years. Then you build your community. All that you can do outside, come here and do it. Everything you can do at the university setting, you should also come here and implement it at that low level in this community. If you have told us what you are saying here today now, we will not be debating this. If you have told us that there is need for us to say, this is what you are supposed to do as a chairman, write a reference letter, this and all that, all these things we will be learning. Because in us and then over 90% of us are naive about what you have just said now. And you just be here digitally with us. You are trying to enjoy it. Rob is our father, is our brother. What is obtainable in other places. We are outside because we want to come in to tell our people what will work for us. So, you understand? Let us learn to do the right thing for our community. Because open this education, there are some areas in this
primary school, secondary school. So whatever we are doing today, it is something that we are paying. We are paying for what we've enjoyed in the system. We must replace it. We're not doing anybody any favor. So I did what I did at that premises. And never I don't need it. What I benefited from the school is what I'm paying for. And most of us here went to that place. That's in secondary school and primary school. Let us make an image to change the system. But we must take everything that he has said and start implementing it from henceforth.
When I say road, we recognize. See, I will go that's when I bought. Because of course, I'm a little so at any time you are given an assignment, name more. When you say she, if Maru name can go Prof, or that's who's in the name, you can buy education committee now. Wait, let me tell you.
Okay. And again, straight.
Okay.
To evaluate. Go and check 2025 budget. Oro Primary School is there. Yes, say, Prof, what is the name of that primary school again? Ijinunje, Oro Primary School.
So you are working.
So go and look for a contractor. Be close to government and do the project.
So, Bernard, it will be factual because no one time when he came to the women to ask for, when they go about education committee, Richard, you were there. The same fight were one, the education committee. One person did that in WhatsApp, in the education committee, it's not surprised. See, like committee on you, it's okay, fine. See, but she probably really dying. So I wonder why you say you don't know. But in any case, that issue is over. But if you're not going to say, with your personality in that line, you are still going to be the education committee as time goes on. So that will follow the same work. So, Bernard, so let us go to the other area.
Conference over the years. There are some statutory issues that are coming up every year. This year, like community education. Next year. So if I'm not doing our agenda every year, so it was because of this I developed a little guiding document, Urban Constitution. You may be two cognizance of all this committee, the composition and responsibility. Until we do this thing in the right manner and make a good result. And if next year begin to repeat light, repeat education, repeat security, no result. Next year again.
Okay.
So can you make this document? Come on, area of amendment. Also, committee then you might identify one. Then I all got any power. They have something to present. That's my point.
Pieces of paper. Never any or not. Or only the minute of the meeting will know what. And if an area, but never know. And and that capacity is our constitution today because whatever why you are someone whatever doctor. So I'm going to go back all time. And I can suggest it. So that after when they make correction. Because when the Chicago and Guama, there are some outside the typo errors. So when it's some area, or someone telling me whatever answers or work of a
Which of the constitution is that national? Is that
No. Yes. This pieces of paper, I'm with the permission of the chairman, after the whole time, we met, one, so that after an endorsing agreement, so that they will adopt it, or it can be adjourned and given to actual committee again to look into it. That will share that.
Okay. Richard.
Chairman, sir, soft copy available. Can you post it here in or whatever in WhatsApp? Not that available. Ask now to the tier. The national and Aguaya. I David H. Or Sancha in the Gomay for a shop on Yana. He did say, and you get together. You can suggest you. Not that the possible she had to create now what I do this night. No more Sancha, then you don't think I did. And you take it to what I do, post the door this night. Then we'll post the Sancha in the Yichi will do it because every point other point they just immediately and we are done.
Dr. Richard Maledo, Professor, you were many eminent indigenous of Emu. And in Northern, that I time with Emu-Uno stakeholders forum, may host the meeting. And if you find this constitution, like in Nebenya, the secretary who has posted it, he created the platform, Emu-Uno stakeholders forum. He posted it there. And that's about our own input. If I try to amend it, I expect in many branches, like with their input. So I don't know whether they're going to say I like it. If I adopt it, I adopt it for or the get there and you can elect it. Scenario or where. Everything they do. So that stakeholders forum, work for the German. There are many formats who can go now because like the government like the frame well documented. So Emu-Uno stakeholders forum, Emu-Uno. There are many formats. After consultation with Chairman CDC Emu-Uno, some indigenous were selected to form the stakeholders forum. I convened the meeting by inviting such selected persons. The first meeting was held on 28 September 2024 with 19 persons out of 32 invited in attendance. The second meeting was held on 26 October 2024 with 14 persons in attendance. The third meeting was held on 30th November 2024 with 11 persons in attendance. Responsibilities. Various developmental plans were assigned to some persons in attendance and progress was made. Such responsibilities included staffing of the secondary school, improvement of MTN network, security of the community, repair of blown-offs of the buildings in the secondary school, etc. Then the vision of that forum, unity in the community, cooperation and collaboration with all organs of authority in the town. Thank you all. My name is Engineer K.S. Onya. I was the convener, or I'm the convener of that stakeholders forum. Thank you very much.
Actually, TS on local charge concerning this constitution. Why Ekuchi is what will guide us in this 2025 plan. And we have limited time. So how are we going to do it? Because Ekuchi TSS is a long time. It will not work in this our conference and in so people to put idea on that area. As he said that they should post it to various people and so on. Well, that is a good idea. But I'm also suggesting if we can have few people who can just put on ad hoc committee now that can go through it from now to tomorrow, take it as a duty and do some amendments. I think it will also help us because if we cannot do anything today tomorrow, this constitution, most of the things we have discussed here were supposed to be inside. And I believe that people who are appointing there, ad hoc committee, understand what we have been talking on all areas. So that is my thinking. So let's see what the Rob wants to say.
Therefore, if we send in a committee, you understand this constitution. Can you do a conference? Constitution have been found in a hurry to handle.
Now, Annie set a committee, this conference in the power to define the terms of reference. Even looking at what they say the function, what other draft of the constitution, we can modify it. It's approve. Obviously, in the education committee, the secretary, a day that on so day, you were appointed. These are your terms of reference. Your money on boundary. Maybe Karuga, maybe Ije Karuga. And you move right committee, nomination, this. Well, you see, can give us a guide. And you bring articulate some of those points. Emu-Uno Conference, then we deal later. In the conference committee, we can hold you responsible. Yes, yes, we gave you later to function as a conference, as an education committee member, and then if we can at that stage, and you get it in if so, under no daily constitution, no, the committee where they not done it. We make the document before we be presented to all of us. That cannot be now. It cannot be now. It can't be after. No, this one is already.
This conference I did almost 3 years. I made the conference. I must set the committee. Even when myself was the chairman of the conference, 2-3 occasions, and I set the whole committee. Over that is certain chairman and now the player to me. I'm not tenor. As far as I go, obviously the key famous chairman use your set up formal committee to go through and vet any amendment. Either by tomorrow they give us support. We now adopt and start to work. Immediately. And the henceforth, I want to advise, if a committee is being set up in a conference of this nature, the committee is bound to meet. Even in the constitutional conference that held in Abuja, they set up a committee that ratified the areas they pointed out. And at the end, they work with it. But our conference does not do without setting up a committee. So I'm of the opinion that I never drag the back. And I set up a committee, and with the series of committee electricity, you pointed one aspect. I was sitting there watching you. I never knew you remember. It happens like that. And I set up security, set in Nepal, set up quiz well. So I'm going to set up 4-man committee. Go through tonight and give us what to do. We'll work with it. Sherman. The principal of the secondary school, Mrs. David Malado, over 2007. Honorable Wisdom, Senior Hospital Advisor to the Governor of Women Organization, it was 5,000 men. Let's make it clear, but I will share
High Chiefs, members of the High Chief, the chairman of the committee, the conference, Nick and Osancha, Mata Ogena Basani, the government not David Dennis, Ikegechiku, over 5 years now, every conference in Emu-Uno I come, I spend my time. No fully many. No Comanian Delta. Okwane National Speak where Yejibu Kwane compare Soko, Yejibu Kwane Control. Yejibu Kwane compare Eka, Kokako. Nimo Kwane Emu-Uno National Speak where Mbonda Madikutoku, Kapichi Leveni say, Oshosh, Eju. That is unfaithfulness. What if we in the manage send them at Nashia, Kerobas I pay on my this was good. Omo Chichi,
of a committee now then they give a proper kuni. See there must be terms of reference. Oh what now then even with and a guide when the kid get check his file from up. So constitution cannot go what the someone an article like this, or the very important in this conference. And the question you sort of say, a setting committee, they made this constitution here. When more authority approve this constitution to be a working instrument, except another conference. So now the working conference, a working committee, a working constitution can only be adopted, accepted, and approved in a conference. So all the chicken, you have signed a fellowship this year. So now you can mean of man at all, of man at not back appointing a national. Yeah, where with something, can you prove it? Ndani ke rock out, you can only find it. I check it all by the year. The way you need all can is done. No, I don't make it here. On mass also. Now you are in committee. Then don't check yourself. If I did checking, if I didn't wear wrong, for constitution body. So, Nkajo Kemeni, the authority chairman, conference can hear the chairman. Matter look at some of as if a kingdom John. So that a chief website is created, I approve it. I will come down and see it, I am answering the Papa in the world. And any committee has only education now you're when we terms of reference, when we guideline we give it a world, it's based on those terms. I think money for even open when they run out, you don't have anything to hold there. Anything from that suggest you Sheba.
Bana the question.
Osani Boku Nime appointed the committee now, and I initiated the rule. When are we coming for this conference?
No. They should shift it from
12. So, even from a people are not functioning. And like we have been established now, we can't blame anybody. You understand? So, because we have voted today and tomorrow for this committee, for this conference. So, negotiate by 11 o'clock, that is late. So that when you wake over the night, it's not easy. I guess what you will say, and they will debate on it, agree on it, before they can get the final solution to what we need. So, Nekushi, today, our Gideon Chief, the PG, he will be the chairman of that committee. Then, Richard.
On what?
Constitution review amendment. That is what we are saying. So, Richard, Maledo, Yoga is secretary. There is no two-way. Professor Michael Maxwell is also there. Vote, honorable vote, you are there. Then, Barrister Nduka, is there any other barrister here? Umanishi Kewem, I'm a member of that committee. Gideon is a member of that committee. Barrister Andoka is a member of that committee. Then Richard Malejo is a member. Then Azuka is a member. Then Chief is a member. So let us leave it like that. Gideon, Chairman. The secretary is Richard. No, on this committee, not Azuka is for this. You are the secretary for this committee. That is all. Final.
Because what of tradition on winning? I think the only I think the committee full of setting the bill, the only the constitution committee. All with anybody can set the committee, but the executive of EDA, when we set a subcommittee that will be working with them, where they achieve in the administration. For example, EDA leadership, where set education committee, because they can hear out of the worship, when we put it in education, and active working, all those committees is a subcommittee working under EDA leadership. They work together. Okay, committee. For example, Akushi was with the town planning committee under EDA chairman can decide to say all the former EDA chairman on town planning committee. Only challenge the group of entity or another. So when they get part of still worship on town planning, it becomes part of their still worship report. On education, because to be honest, it's not even the setting committee at the conference level. Maybe you see a member of the committee in the choir, you choose one of the national. Naturally, one more. The problem when the push will be no, they can be part of the committee, but the principal members would there be no. Now they are content to the one advice. On education, committee you can put principal. The chairman of EDA, Unu just is on report to you. When they challenge and teach you together and you resolve. When the chairman is giving a report, they become part of the report is given. So Narian should be good. Come with the family. I think I've said the committee. When I say great constitution and constitution, I guide EDA. So it is proper in TLA. So I think the constitution. Any other that has to do constitution, EDA chairman and executive should look into that. Can we be part of it? Sure.
And they don't know who they knew. Or Sani if on Aquani Karakara, it's like Annie who the president EDA. She the president EDA and I sorrow on their committee, subcommittee, although I because she conference ATA committee. I think let us nurture that area because okay. So I want 2-3 persons to say correct so that
especially me. Always take community make be good. Well, in anything development, there didn't pay. How are you feeling? Can you mind when they feeling? It's not only because my own observation, now observe even a minute. we feel like you na take a road from here. But today, no, not today now, Okuma Reka didn't give us when they move. Onye tita n'ogo, abeba na afọ onye nọrọ Igbo, who debate everything according to the committee condition. We just all company by obodo kene. What can make kenebu TNO, onye di obodo be TNO. Yaman ni fili ni imobodo. Yekete onye di Lagos. But today now, I naturally can make repair Muna. Only I can make CDC chairman today, and you will CDC, EDA Cameron. Can do you? EDA chairman now, okay, we in that I am. I don't even who point the people that matter to repair the community. Cut me out, but we will point the people that matter. Then that you can get primary. For that,
Conference is a process and procedure of bringing ideas and also air your wish when a matter is on the table. Food is the table. Onye n'uche ya na the wese. Ora fu ife gido kuni. Apart from that na so it was high na so mane no. Ife gido kowane. Osi conference nebu committee. N'Asaba, everyone after on your base in Asaba, and say, oh, electricity today, as close to head it, but in Asaba. Other words, in Lagos, before today, see such process, starting our work. If anything in the short term, but say, we have been following it on that process. Not more than 1, 2, 3, 4. And in our setting a similar committee of this nature and other our position. So, in the name, because if the executive name the committee themselves and at the end they fail, then the executive will be blamed. Point you can make Onye chairman EDA, EU very substance no as chairman education. Name no enu view no emu to be part. See if at the end no enu fail, it is a factor between you and EDA chairman. Our can the conference chairman and the executive another conference the JCC chairman is the EDA chairman. Where is the committee you set up on education? Is that not what you said? Yes. So sometimes we're so one man was as who you go for the sick I can think I'm not even. So many women sick are with the responsibility to you the executive. When you never like I don't know where. They look when they go, no one is here, no one is here. Sure.
Community not to can just the conference or my revenue. I was saying, Madam William did you? When you put if go gay, no you put on a time and chance. When the problem did you not solve? The check now for why I didn't fail you all these years. And I do feel because I set so many governments to work against each other. Yes. That when you need committee, Potako share about in charge of the boys also. The matter and a man a bend or gets on the 80. It's a simple formula. He was up with the EDA chairman. Oh, where they can't get also when you go on the education. Yeah, man, that's also ya. Also, on the governor of Boko, yeah, man, that's also ya. Also, when you want to suppose an open challenge to the assessment, yeah, man, that's not changing them. Even now, mother, and then I did on a fact. when the potential man is on when you go. When you put yourself, but past they go that follow. Once we are coming to us, we bring the name and some of this activity in the agile by ideas. But he will in then now will in the committee, they could a measure and in the or the EKG gather. It doesn't work. And at the end, the EDA chairman the year can't pay, when it's when the year can't pay, and the EDA chairman are responsible to the problem they pay. Because obviously is the sole supervisor for every other committee as long as Emu is concerned. So you are also looking at them as okay. Echi Chukuyeka, Ndibe Yobusendi constitution of and Yasoronye Chukuyeke Atumano Echi, will it here? Okwekanyabo. You first a little book. O maybe that Emu should say, every single constitution they met about a being about it. Why so as also men can asoka? You don't know what I should do, what I need to say. You can't even send them out one by one. They are checking their personality. Only never know the book. You not consult on them. When me in the shape or you consult with people that are in front of you. That's how you make those conversations within the first 1 week. You are well found out. Inaugurate you officially. We don't know. So because you and you have to go to Kuyana and you Sheba.
The governor, the appointing commissioner here. Primary school Emu-Uno address to this conference, the conference chairman, Emu Development Association, EDA Emu-Uno, on Shisa, application to recognize Emu Primary School Emu-Uno. I hereby apply to the community to recognize Emu Primary School Emu-Uno as one of the viable institutions in Emu-Uno. Since the death of 4-year-old boy, the school has been deserted and abandoned. I request the community to recognize this school by providing adequate security, gate man and blankets that will be paid as a watch day from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. daily. Community to authoritatively readdress the primary school PQ to attend the school without fear. That is some streets like Omojo, Ekosobe, Ogboko, and Itebe to attend the school. Also, community to provide big jingle bell of 9:11 and a band set to wake up the people and parents. However, community to provide the school with carton of chemical for spraying and mowing machine to facilitate clearing of the weeds. In conclusion, we request the provision of the above mentioned facilities to bring this school to its former condition. Thanks from your cooperation, the headmaster, Mrs. Okushi, AG, and Elder Emmanuel Unuto. So, work in our destination primary school here. I think because I am a primary school in Google. I am a university. I think she go because she's school girl at the school. So, yes, she will be said working because I need to say something.
There are dynamics. Who get there at the primary school? All primary schools is order. But Kitana Emu, there are private schools. And Maro Lady Emu, what is our population that will sustain 2 schools? Those are dynamic. Look at Maro Lady. Osani didn't even have Monoma, Ufotuno, Mwawe in a public school. Only be over in a private school. So if you the population of most public school today on other than because private schools were taking over the population. No many anyway teach you Mugosi. even my granddaughter often be normal secretary will be. So in the teacher should try as much as possible to stimulate children's interest in learning. Because over to primary school, in their teachers in public schools are not doing well. We must look at their face and talk to them. They are not doing well. Because what we stimulate, I don't know how to say, you can go chemical. Can Minister of Education now? That is the first thing. Before you write this letter to us, this letter to no direct there's that impress. There's an impress that comes. So the head of the school, I'm a university administrator. I've always level commitment teacher from primary school to university. So I'm not more anything by any education. Always to I can go by the I think I have web I look at that web question so but why I have web and international no bed. So if you should win in a day school canoe, don't you almost school who goes in English school, Jehovah tree no biarco, Maro, a child died. But people are going to the school because of the output of the teacher. Exam. Marry she an exam. Isada, Echi will my debate. Have you on 80? So, in that teacher need to swag go. Up there, every now and then, and they register in school, can do no module. When me primary six exam, or say, or Sunday in the private school, you just one way. Did you tell me? So, if I can go to Jackal, Omar city teacher, we can welcome that teacher in a madman. Now, quick. I was school again, when you know what we say. But can I, like, I just can't hear you now, I quick. I think I can't wait. I think I able to now. So, because after I say, can neglect any of our schools? One thing, children are losing interest in education because of Yahoo. That is the basic truth. Children are losing interest in education. If we say education doesn't matter. As I am today, I'm immortal. Till the world end, people will begin to read my works. If you're funny. And education has taken me all over the world. All over the world. So, only one person pay Yahoo. Umugoshi. Yahoo is just for 10 years. Everything will come back. So, I should try to encourage our children. Onye no ma bikoni one way. Yamari for wababano. Wababano from one more city. So for Tony Bialisayo or Mosu Unamo Amroba University. So was maybe in the court. Or someone so go kita na se bayro ko ejina. So you put on ogo man go see maybe no kada wire or west wow. And we can not do not if of or so what. And so near Brunuma, Cobonia Brunebe, they could see Brosso, Chabu Cardinaro. So for only the school now, one say Byro, say go away, Byro Nezu, no 4 watching. I'm Robezu, well, 3 This is Bradema. Can you have Babiona? 15 billion. It's okay. So, Bikoni, Emu-Uno official draft say we must do advance and you be there, and you make effort, and encourage our children to go to school. Outside there, we have our practice on that, they will be the jail. In there, we will not have our. In there, we will not have our. But teacher don't get your well already. Teacher don't get your well already. Where did I marry me? Be there to on a couple of teachers, the teacher will get here. When is it not?
Chairman, this one is a very sensitive matter. You must say gem party, gem location. Because all this education is a very important discussion. Osaife Professor Maso Ekune, or don't know, but the email, and bottom then the email which I handle now. Yamarashi 1 + 1 is 2. But culturally and traditionally, if again they tell you, also tenon. Oku this private school Ajinen Emu-Uno Conference is one of my worries, and also the public school. Everybody Emu-Uno in some of the private schools that are very Rashakudo and Canal, they are nothing to write home about. No, they are not properly registered. They are not fit to exist in this kingdom. We don't need them. We are going to look into those ones we know that are fit to be here to serve us and serve our children. Those ones that are not fit, let me tell you, EKDA will erase them by all means. Don't take one room, even one room apartment. You have to divide that into 10 parts and say class 1, class 2, class 3. Or such a school. They are all private school. And come to think about it. Often one major private school. But my wife is so keen about the children. Those when they do assignments. But that's not all first. All of them should have always were first. Can I say them the boy first? Usually, I'm in the AJ school. Can rebels? Yeah. What's the problem of this school? We said the 500,000, 1 million. I just drop money. I just leave. Just to encourage other parents. And then they work at the year and survive with the school. So that time was possible. But on the other 4 years, they did an exertion and was a person. Other boy. So we move that child. We move that child to another school. We interview that child. The child that we are qualified to go to the next class. Well, some of that class was supposed to be the thing paid me so much. My wife, she whoever they wanted, 20 in that class. After 1 term, only to them up, they should return her back to the next class or any class of their choice. We got the private teacher, including herself, to also assist the situation. Now that child is the best child student in that school, not just that class, the whole of that school now, as we speak. So they were passing my child because they were. Maybe because now I support to all grammar school. They say that my child should be carrying first. We don't need it. You're not helping me, you're also not helping the child. So if now one school, almost all full school can manage, yes, this school is good because almost someone can like to come to private school. There are a lot of reasons why some parents don't want their child to identify with public schools. But whichever school will accommodate here must be qualified. School cannot write primary 6 exams here in Emu. Should not exist. You can't write secondary school WAEC should not exist in this environment. So the new government here will look into it. If you can't handle it, bring it to EKB. We'll handle it. We'll write petitions. We will fight to remove such schools from the environment. Because we cannot raise idiots. You cannot be passing our children. Yet they cannot from this town go to look for admission in Africa. By the time we're starting to look from our they were here. That same school no what they come here to develop. So we are not going to accommodate such schools. We will not accommodate them. So we are going to work strongly with the new EDA that will take over from this government. It is not business as usual. That is shared by. And then we also have the principal here on that side. If you have it, because this is your area, if you want to talk, you come and tell us something about it.
So I never right to reject anyone. But I devised a means where we found for me a small novel to read. My beloved people, my children cannot read. They cannot read. And I cried out, a woman although, what is our primary school teachers doing? A child finishing primary school, primary 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, primary 6, or the better. And we parents, we are looking at them. Listen, that teachers are more fault, but 90% of the fault is from you parents. 90% of this fault is from you parents. Then when they go to school, from morning to evening, when she say, come with dedicated. Never in school. I remember my mother of a pleasant memory. When I came with Jehovah's Witness, then Jehovah's Witness be like that. But then I couldn't wear, my mother for Jehovah. So I'm getting the primary 3, primary 4, thereabouts. A gem holiday, my mother she met Gunaya before. That time I had my mother one I go, man, boy, and I gallop. Then I did the skin is to can I Patrick when in that and I could not work? Patrick will never go wanting as somebody there. That is an illiterate woman. That was an illiterate woman. When I defend the when you're in school. But when I will fail, my marriage will not be fail for 1 hour with me. Now, our professor who are good, but I want to correct one error. Yes, public school teachers are the name argument. A sexual argument because they are overloaded with work. In my school, every secondary school have only one English teacher teaching from JS1 from JS1 to SS3. I cried out. I wrote letters. Nobody responded in the community. Nobody until I devised a means to help this girl. Listen, government, government government and when it is this government now except she won't be commissioner, governor, teachers ndị PTA na-akwụgwọ ka ebiani enem suwe enwe teachers. This English girl is dying. The physics and chemistry is nowhere to be found. According to PTA chairman, it's a PTA chairman. Ego PTA cannot get work they will hire teachers. Or she make a kaka. Not when they were teachers, the government they were teachers. That is where you are getting it wrong. You have government in the by the grace of God today, I have 2 adult teachers in GPTA school levy now and they're doing well. If your school, did in that school, in SS1, SS2, what is their standard in physics and chemistry? So if I go can you learn it can make even in the primary school you joke where I'm sure most of the problem I need to work with teachers are that. I'm sure teachers are I want to dance to except soldiers in school. Regular dance soon in school. And then we're enough teachers. That is our major problem. So just can I just summer although the committee will do something.
Okay, you know what talk? No, you know what talk? Oh yeah, talk and let the talk. Talk and let
Yes. If I could live in there, you have to be careful. You see, money, only in the school, don't you? It's your own money, after the so. In the Maya, school don't have no. I need to call from Narada in that India that are going in, level is tomorrow. What I buy that school. I'm not like a son and best where they can start. That school, on one lady, national Biogo, in the tissue level. We were in that lady, that's where they got on. That lady, we were never got on. But when they got in, because that school, and in no, and there's weapon. When she was in the secondary school. And they brought up the secondary school, and I'm not going to go. And I bet you, when my fight, they all go on the early primary school. And I don't rebel. Rufu, what am I saying? I don't keep it true. When the mouth of him. When they were, Kama and Oruto. When they were there, I sent it and I go and shop. And I book it. Get there. When I go to the classroom. And it was in that place, that place, Baguaya. All the silly and the Milukan. Emu secondary school. Didn't Oche. All the classrooms in the secondary school. But when Jay was around the jar, now we fail. We go chair. Now the pigeon, all the way, it has to be one sheet, carry the Arwa, that makes me never see that school. Then they develop the weekend. All Chinese people in those classrooms, those ones at the secondary school, when they die, I'm going to say. But when they Israel, but come there. We look down the Popaya, and they found that door, that window, and they look at the big old well. Everyone should do a bell when they go to keep a possible and to children. If I done a fool, and their teachers done a bell, they will be your fool, and they got up my work. Well, because, what are you cool, one? You won't be carrying the first school. Then the black people are never done anyway. They have put in school. Whatever you go work, but that's school. I just say, and you know this private school in Umbusane. That person in Umbusane. Olukapayoku. That man, every on a lecture on the school, on a home money, on a school, be the director. But what I know, the secondary school, that what I know, this, you know, Okura money is a register happy. Square it to empty, the better. Where can I go? Option, what can I really square me? What I said is this family school, the better. Why, what is square here? I'll put it in. Eh, all that, but we're going to school. I just say, the Babu Mane and the Jere and the family happy. But the war secondary school, the better, the better, and the family. So, better, we may be that one, but it's probably well, Shabbat.
Kubabi. My Emu chief. Was able to make it over. Mike is not working. Okay. Because Ekufona chairman Goni say the headmaster of headmistress Emu Primary School is in the year. If they never watching a video from grassroots. The parents who make a video more the video in a free we move for Albert on a just school. Yadi very much of the training school Umodio. We were a question or not. Yapu education adult education. Well, as from the Ghana, okay, the road. Many shim, the chief Kislo Pino, the other Emmanuel Rufani. Oh, Africa. Let me coach him. So, even if you go 10, what we move to Tisha Janet, and you have a capital, never offer running. And people care down from one of the school now. I can be report if I don't know. Kichibone Kadi. Because nowadays, government hasn't argued to a year school. Obviously, they go for the corrupt nation of this country. Agbare go bad in Adia to the purpose when in the Then secondly, Nkagwanda Naranishi, Omwe, Nejebo secondary school and primary school. Most of our time, we go to Nejebo school by 10 o'clock. When is medical school? Umbia Martina school, Yobu principal of Yobu headmaster in a school by that. Then secondly, Omwane at the age where today, Yakwa with phone, they concentrate on phone, and then if they run that age, before they jam that all these things are causing our education to be decayed. And it is caused by our parents. A man in a J school, and a man in a J school in those days, you will be taking auto. What they make quick in a J school, keep out delayed because all information work a year in a line no. Or when information work ye, email line no ye in a kudo. Each neighbor ye can manifest in that very thing. So or the back on their one, then Narani. Now monitor our children. Some of them you see some children at 12 o'clock when they see Nagagemi. What are they doing for when your parents are there? Then who are you going to blame when you cannot manage your children? So please, Nekushi, all these things need to be discussed at a very both order and everywhere. Issue of infrastructure, water, hospital, and market and the health. And it will just like 30 minutes to discuss those things tomorrow. Because the most important thing is the election that is coming up. And we have to do it tomorrow. So most of the time will be used for the election. The finance, after they have given us the breakdown and we debate on it,
Akutos Elewe Mimini, Mimeteshi, then we will now go for the election. So, and Nekushera Zubidanikite, say, Odu, can you is remain, because I need a real Rufani, then H and Yosi Rosa, Kiashnedeka, Yavi Sheba.
Mr. Chairman, sir. Someone can also go to the in line with the chairman and Ikuni. I did not say if I should get this like a guitar. I'm going to give you a quick word. The movement of the Bible get there to go. Let you continue. Sheba. That is what we second. I'm going to she's not going to go. Not in second.
Because they don't know. And I say to be finance candidate the election. I said, if I call your street, when you get back home, you the street levy and the branches, where one if they give back where they live. Where party when they practice like that, you have a plan to them. I was saying, I don't see where they do. That money, everybody can do. Share one.
Registration of street and branches. If it's open for open, we that